Like, do you really want to be as great as you claim you want to be? Like, we grow up wanting to be successful in high school and have a great high school career. And at some point, turn around and look back and have our high school jersey retired. And then go to college, have a great college career, win some championships, win some rings, player of the year, player of the conference, however you get down. And then go on to be some level of pro. Brittany's done all that. Brittany said, I'm 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 her, high school level. I'm her at the college level. I'm her at the pro level. This is what I do. I'm a hooper. I go hoop. But then life happens. That unseen twisting of plans happen. And you get to a pocket where you get that fork in the road. You have to decide that, do I want to keep pursuing basketball or do I want to figure out life? And when she hit that fork in the road, she decided that she needed to figure out life first. And when she figured out life, basketball came back to her. And so today I got with Brittany. We talked about her journey through her life and how she had an amazing career in high school, an amazing career in college, an amazing pro game. But then, of course, life happens and it kind of readjusted things, and she had to figure out how to get back center and get back to herself so basketball can come back to her. So we go over how you guys can deal with the same thing. She has the heart and mindset of a champion through and through. And so we dig into how she developed that champion mindset and the champion heart, and what happened to get her off her path and how she got back to there. So it's some game for you guys to overcome adversity and problems you have and still get to the end goal that you dream of having. So you're gonna enjoy this one. It's a dope conversation, dope interview with Brittany. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you enjoy it. Without further ado, welcome in. It's Britney Wright. Yo, what is going on, man? I am BeBall Jones. I am simply a basketball trainer that is here to bring you the blueprint, the stories, and the mindset to help you make progress in your game. Appreciate you tuning in. Let's, let's get it.
Well,
How you doing though? Everything good?
I am doing well. Everything is great. I honestly cannot complain. How are you doing?
I am glad that you're here.
Thank
So
you.
that helped me have a better day. Because I have the opportunity to do a podcast interview. I love doing these, so I'm glad that you're here. So I can't complain either. I'm doing pretty good.
Well,
Uh,
thanks for having me.
and I appreciate you coming on. So,
Mhm.
um, somebody told me you can hoop a little bit. Is that true?
Just a little bit, not nothing too crazy. Just a little,
Not a lot.
not a
Like
lot. No.
just enough to be overseas doing it
Yeah,
professionally. Like,
yeah, just enough.
okay, and
Mm,
enough to like get your jersey retired at your high school too, right?
just enough. Yeah,
I mean, just enough to get a college scholarship and play 4 years. Like,
yeah. You know, just enough. Just enough.
that's pretty cool though if you think about it. Like to have all those things happen,
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
think you can
exciting.
hoop.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm my biggest critic, so
Mm,
I'm super hard on myself still at this age and at this level. I'm still extremely hard on myself, and I don't know why. I can't help it. I was talking to my mom the other day about it, and she's just like, "You need to settle down. Like, you've accomplished a lot, and you're doing great, and you're still playing." So she's like, "You need to look at the bigger picture and be like, not that I'm not grateful, but she's like, you need to be more grateful. Don't be this hard on yourself." But I'm just like, I just can't help it. Like, that's just the athlete
mm,
in me. Like, I'm always aiming for higher. So
mm.
that's that.
Yeah, I think that's the weird mix that you're in because I feel the same way. Like I always feel like I haven't done anything, but
Mm-hmm.
then I have to sit back and be like, I have done a little something.
Mm-hmm.
Because the issue I have is like I see like level 100,
Yeah.
then I'm at level 10, and
Yeah.
I forget about levels 9, 8, 7, 6, and I just like that's nothing because I see where I can be.
Mm. Yeah.
So I always get frustrated with that. But
No, and I honestly don't know. Like, all of my life, and for the people that are like really close to me, know me, I have been humble my entire basketball career, and they're just
mm,
like, you really can pop your stuff. I'm just like, that's not me though. Like, I'd
mm,
rather just be humble, be thankful for my gift, thankful to God, that He blessed me to be able to play this game, blessed me with, the path that I had to take, you know what I'm saying, and the opportunities and the growth, you know what I'm saying, and all the accolades and all that stuff. But I still haven't had that moment where I just like kind of sit back and kind of reflect on everything that I've done and, accomplished. I still really haven't had that moment like I've done a lot and accomplished a lot, because not a lot of people can say that they did what I did, I feel like. But I just remain humble. Like I just can't, I'm not there yet. Like I'm just humble.
So
So
what's holding you back from taking that moment of reflection?
I know I'm not done. You know what I'm saying? There's still there's still a lot of great things I feel like that's going to happen for me,
Hmm.
even when I'm done playing basketball, I still feel like there's going to be some great things to happen for me. But I don't know. To be honest, I really can't answer that because I just don't know why like I think about, some of the things, but I really just haven't like reflected deeply, like, wow,
Yeah.
but I'm sure it'll happen soon.
Yeah, I think it's that weird mix of having gratitude for where you're at and where you're at now, but still being focused and locked in to continue to do what's next.
I think so.
And
Yeah,
do you have a good balance of that?
I do. Actually do. Um, and I think another thing why it's a little bit difficult for me is I so my basketball history is a little crazy. Um, with as far as me playing professionally again, because
Mm,
I played 2018, 2019, and then I stopped. Like I didn't play the rest of 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. So
mm,
I literally just started back playing professionally last year. I decided to go out and play in Australia, which was the best decision ever. It kind of makes me feel like I should have took because the deal that I took last year, I had that deal 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and I didn't take it. But me and one of the
mm,
coaches, we stayed tight, we stayed close, we talked all those years. In 2023, he finally got me to go out there, and I went out there. Man, I love it. Like I'm like, dang, this could have been like my fourth, fifth season out here had I went. But I mean, I'm grateful that I went, last year because I love Australia. I love playing out there, and I'm hoping I can play out there for the next 3, 4 years.
mm.
So I think that's another thing that's a little bit hard for me. Why I can't really sit and self reflect because I'm like, I really feel like I'm just getting started all over again, which is so crazy.
Mhm.
But that's just that's just where I am right now. So I'm just trying to embrace this opportunity, embrace this journey, and keep a positive mind, a clear mind. Stay as healthy as I can for as long as I can, so I can
Mhm.
play for a long time. So that's yeah.
So, so what happened with those 3 years? Why'd you stop playing?
Um, I was not mentally anywhere near basketball. Like I just was not there. Like I don't want to say I fell out of love with it, but I did lose a little bit of love. You know what I'm saying? I was a little bit tired of it. And I was like, let me just take a different route. So I went to nursing school for 2 semesters. And like throughout those 2 semesters, I'm still communicating with the coach. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm going back and forth at this point because at first I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm ready to get into my career. I'm ready to start working. I'm ready to get into this nursing path. And then I started communicating with him again. I'm just like, you know what? Maybe I'm not done with basketball. So I had to do like this whole hiatus, just kind of take a break from everything, from everybody. I didn't play basketball for like 2 or 3 summers. I kind of just played like, a little local LA fitness, kind of worked out a little bit just to keep my foot, a little wet with it. But I just kind of took that break, kind of did a lot of self reflection, a lot of like, thinking, praying, fasting, trying to figure out like, Lord, don't think I'm done with this. Like, I don't know if I don't want to be done with it, but I
Mhm.
don't have that fire that I once had. So I really had to separate myself and I really had to take some time alone and just kind of figure things out. Like I had to figure it out, You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad I made the right choice to start playing
Mhm.
again. Um, but I don't know. It's like it just basketball will. It never left me. Like even if I truly wanted to walk away, it was not. It's not time for me to walk away. You know. So
Mm.
I'm glad that I'm still playing. So yeah.
Did you feel the buildup of the incoming, or did it just like all at once happen?
It just like kind of slapped me in the neck. I was just like, whoa. It was like a build up, but it was a quick build up. Like I was playing with, one of the teams that I always play with here in Atlanta. And I just like the whole little season that we were playing, I'm just like, each game it was just something. Like I'm just like, no, no. And it's just started like happening so fast, and I'm just like, all right, I gotta I'm about to have a breakdown. Like I gotta pull apart. I gotta get out of here. So like we went out of town and played. I don't remember where. I think it was like South Carolina, North Carolina, somewhere. And we had lost a game or whatever. I didn't play that well. I'm just like sitting in the locker room trying to figure some stuff out. And I was just like, hey y'all, this is my last game. Like I just come out like, hey, this is my last game. I'm done for a while. I was like, I gotta figure some stuff out. I'm mentally not here. And my teammates were really supportive and, caring. So they understood, but it was I was so overwhelmed, and I just could not focus on basketball. Like I could not be the best version of me that I knew I could be. And I didn't like that either. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just out here. Like I'm not really playing with any passion, any fire that I normally play with. And it affected my game, but most importantly, it affected my mental. So I knew I needed to take that time away. I needed to step back, which was a hard decision, of course, but
Mhm.
I knew it needed to happen.
So, what was causing that issue? Was it just kind of getting burnt out with it? Did something happen? Like, what was happening for you to get to that point?
Honestly, nothing major, like nothing like major happened, but I was just like life was life, you know what I'm saying? Like it's life after college, which is I graduated in 2017, but still 2019 was the last time I played professionally overseas. So after that, it's the whole pressure of what do I want to do next? Like, what's next for me? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I can't just solely depend on basketball. I have to have, my backup. Everybody's telling you, like, okay, what's next? What are you doing? So you got
Mhm.
all these different people, voicing their opinion. Not saying that I care about people's opinion or listening to people, but that can be overwhelming when you just constantly hearing it. What you doing next? What's your career? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? I'm just like, okay, well, now y'all got me thinking. I'm like I gotta rush now to make a decision. So I think that played a major role into it as well.
Mhm.
And you think you have it under control, but it's just like, all right, I don't. And it's just keep coming. It's just keep coming at you. So that's really what it was. It wasn't like a drastic, or something traumatic or anything. Thank God. But that's what that was. It came from stemmed a little bit from there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you feel like some of your overachiever mindset played a role in that too?
I do, because it's not even just me being an overachiever with basketball. It's every area of my life I want to be an overachiever, so it affects everything. So yeah,
Mm.
I can say that.
Okay, so talk to me about how you first decided to go overseas. Was it something that you wanted to do, or did it kind of like it fell into like an opportunity to open? It's like, well, I guess I'll do it. Like, how did you decide to go overseas then?
So my senior year in college, Alabama State. After the season ended or whatever, my coaches talked to me a little bit about, like, okay, what's next? And to be completely honest, I had no desire, no anything to play after college. Like I was gonna just
Mhm.
go right back to school and stuff like that. Um, so but I started getting phone calls. I started getting like, I wasn't really active like that as far as like social media, Instagram or whatever. Like I had one, but it was just my basic little social media account. But I started getting, agents reaching out to me on social media. and stuff like that. So, I talked to my coach. I was like, yeah, some people reached out. I think that I should take this opportunity. And she's like, you definitely need to take this opportunity. So they helped me a little bit with, as far as getting film, putting some stuff together to send out to these agents and stuff like that. But to
Mhm.
be honest, I really didn't. This is with my entire basketball career, from me starting playing in middle school to me, going to high school, going to college. I honestly did not know that I would be where I am today with basketball. Like, I did not know that
Mhm.
I was going to be a great player. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just a little girl who played in the backyard with my cousins and my brothers, you know what I'm saying, for fun. And I was terrible. So terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom played, so there was some athleticism in there. I didn't dig it out at the time. Like, it was still in there somewhere. I had to, dig deep to find it. But being completely honest, I did not have this plan about basketball. Like, you have some people that start off young, like, this is what I'm going to do. I want to play at this school, this level. I want to go to WNBA. That's not me. I just played. I worked hard. I trained in the summer. I spent summers, so many summers in the gym, playing with
Mhm.
dudes, just getting better. And still to this day, me and my best friend that I met in going to high school, we still talk about it to this day. We're like, how did you get good? Like, you just got good out of nowhere. Like, that transformation was so quick. Like, it literally was quick. It was crazy. I was like, I was supposed to be good. Like, I was good, but
Mhm.
um, then again, I look back, I'm like, but I worked hard. Like, I've always been the type to, whatever I put my mind to, I'm going to do it. Like, I'm going to find a way to be good at it. Like, I'm going to figure it out. And honestly, that's what I did with basketball. Like, okay, if I get in the gym, I put some time in, you know what I'm saying? Like, I will get better. And like, my shooting got better, ball handling got better. Like, I was super athletic. And I know I got that from my mom, because my mom played basketball, ran track, and did volleyball. So, like, my jumping abilities, being only 5'9", 5'10", but I was jumping like I was 6'1", 6'2", and I still do, and I will not let anybody take that away from me. But I still play like I can play in the paint like I'm 6'5", because I know what I'm doing down here.
Mhm.
But honestly, I don't. With my whole basketball career, playing overseas and all that, I'd never imagined any of it. I didn't, have these wishes to do these things. It just happened for me. Like, I put the work in, though. I'll say that. I put the work in. So, yeah, man.
So, what motivated you and drove you when you were younger? Because you don't seem like you just cared about basketball that crazy.
Right.
So,
So,
what kind of pushed you when you were younger like that?
um, I have to say my mom. Like, even though I was playing with my cousins and stuff like that, so they made me like super competitive and um, wanting to explore it a little bit more. But my mom, there's this picture that my mom has framed of herself shooting a jump shot. And I'm just like, wow, like, this is it's old too. Like, my mom, just to kind of give you her age, she was born in 1959. So
Mm.
this is a black and white photo. My mom shooting her jump shot. This skinny lady with this fro, with these high shorts. I'm just like, I want to do this. Like, I want to be like my mom. Like, and when I talk to my mom and her friends, and everybody talk about my mom, how she was so good, she was so athletic, and you know what I'm saying. She was a great defender, she was a great rebounder, and she could jump, and they say all these good things about my mom, and I'm just like, wow, like, I want to be like my mom. Like, I want to do this. I want to try. You know what I'm saying? So there was so many times where I would get like discouraged or whatever, and I would just look at this photo, and I'm just like, you know what? Let me tap into this. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom was a beast, so
Mhm.
I have to say my mom inspired me. She's very passionate about basketball. My high school and college teammates, everybody knew my mom because my mom was a mom in the stands, yelling like, not in a bad way. She like, Coach, take her out. She's tired. You need to get a rebound. Like, get back. But it was one of those situations where everybody knew my mom. The refs weren't going to put her out. She would talk about them. They would just laugh. So she just had this amazing relationship I know sometimes it'll irritate people. It irritated me, but she's very till this day, she's still very passionate about basketball. She watches all levels, college, high school, NBA, WNBA. My mom has always loved the game, and she's very knowledgeable when it comes to the game. So yeah, man, I still find that pretty amazing.
So she didn't try to force you to play nothing like that. You
My
just kind
mom
of
never, now that you asked me this question, my mom never pushed basketball on me. That's just something that I picked up, and she would just watch me in the backyard playing with my brothers and cousins. And I grew up in Detroit, so when I'm like 5, 6 playing on, we're playing on crates before we, got like an actual rim. So we was playing on crates and shooting on crates and stuff like that. I don't know if you know what a crate is, but
mm,
that's what we was playing on. But my mom, she would just watch, and I was running the house crying, like he's being too hard. She's like, you just gotta get out there. You gotta be tough. You gotta be aggressive. But that's so crazy that I'm just now thinking about it because I don't think anybody has ever asked me that. My mom never pushed me to play basketball. Like that was something. Once I decided to do it, she supported me to the fullest. Like my mom is still, she's always been my biggest supporter, and she still is. So yeah, no, she never pushed me. I'm thankful that she didn't because over those years, like from when I started, I had so much fun. I've been enjoying basketball. I had a lot of fun, and like, yes, she was hard on me. Yes, she was, she would critique me and, critique the games. Those car ride homes would just be like, man, I need a bike. I need to ride my bike home or something. Like, I don't want to be in a car because they would get heated and you can't do anything. Like I'm trying to turn my body and look out the window. She's like, no, turn around and listen.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, she never. That's one thing she did. She never forced me or made it seem like I had to do it because she did it. So yeah,
Yeah, I think that's special because a lot of parents, like you about to go play basketball. Like you have to get outside. I
yeah,
bought this goal. I bought these shoes for you. Bought this basketball. You finna get outside and play.
yeah,
So for you to be where you're at now and not have been forced on you as a kid, I think that's pretty special. And I think most top tier players can probably say that too. But like once the player decides you want to do this, like, all right, you sure? You sure?
right.
Because if you agree, I'm not mom, I'm not dad no more. I'm
Mm-hmm.
trainer and coach now. So
Mm-hmm. But I
the fact
think
that you
that
switched,
affects players though too. When
yeah,
your parents force you to do it, or they want you to do it because they've done it. You know what I'm saying? And when you're not as good as they think that you should be, or they'd like you to be, then it creates this whole problem because now they're trying to get you in a gym and get you with these trainers or train you themselves. And I just think that kind of affects, you know, the way that your journey with basketball. So I'm glad my mom didn't do
mhm,
that to me.
yeah. Because I've seen a lot of players who have potential and they good, they want to do it, but
Mm-hmm.
then the parent they have good intentions, but they don't know how to motivate them and drive them in the right direction. And you take the love out of it. So every
Right.
mistake they do, you yelling and you fussing at them. Every time they miss or miss a shot, you on their neck. And it's like, bro, they're not trying to mess up on purpose. Like they're doing the best they can.
Right. And it's
So
a situation too, like it's where now they're no longer playing, you know what I'm saying? Some of them can't play to try to win or to try to enjoy. Now they're trying to impress their parents or win their parents' approval, and that's just completely wrong. So yeah, that's tough. I can't imagine.
and they
But
got the whole ranking thing too when you in fifth, sixth, seventh grade. And I'm like, bro,
that's crazy. Like
like
just
let
let them
them hoop.
enjoy it, man. That's crazy. That sucks though.
Yeah. And it's weird when people kind of like I get it to an extent on how you would celebrate that because it's cool. Like if you think about it, it's cool to say I have the best seventh grader in the
Right.
country. It's cool. You think about it, like,
Right.
but now it's a different mindset behind it. It becomes a business a lot sooner, so you take the fun out of
Mm-hmm.
it a little bit. So, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you slipping ranks now. If you go from 100 to 10, you feel the
Right.
way. You go from being top 100 to out the top 100, you feel the way.
Yeah.
But when we were growing up, it was totally different. You just hoop because you loved it. You trying to be the
Right.
best in your neighborhood, or the best
Right.
in the school. Like it's a different mindset. So
Right. And
it's weird seeing that now.
It is. It's super weird because I feel like it takes away. It takes away so much, from them as a kid and as a player. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You have all these different people in your ear. It's like the goal is not to be the best player that you can be or winning.
Hmm.
And a lot of times, a lot of these kids don't even have a winning mindset. They just want to be ranked high. They want to be the top player in the country. You know what I'm saying? It's not even about winning, for their
Hmm.
program or, you know, a lot of them, I don't even think they realize what being a great player is. Like, being a great player is not
Yeah.
just about you. Like, can you help other people play? You know what I'm saying? Can you help other people around you that you're playing with be great as well? You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like, are you coachable? So I don't know, man. It's just weird times. It's weird times
Yeah.
for sure.
Like right now, I'm coaching the sixth grade boys, and sometimes I like being around younger kids because it gives me a different perspective. Like I hear the social media half of it, but then
Mm-hmm.
I get the real life perspective of what that balance is. So, like some kids are cold. Don't get me wrong. Like
Yeah.
some of the dudes can actually hoop, but then
Yeah.
some of them they have the social media mindset of what greatness is. But I'm like, that's not actually how you win basketball games. That's not what gets you boards, and that's what not gets you
Mm-hmm.
actual points. So it's really just getting them to understand what goes into winning. Like I don't like right now coach's team. They're not the best team, but
Right.
a lot of development. So I'm just trying to get them like the different mindsets around winning
Yeah.
and how do you actually win a game? How
Mm-hmm.
do you actually develop and get better? So win or lose, we did great some things, we did bad at some things. I'm gonna let you know both of them, but it's still a balance that you got to have of winning, me playing my best, and playing, for the sake of basketball, playing the best for that.
Right.
And at this age, man, it's sixth grade, bro. Like, some of these dudes might not touch a basketball again in their life. You never know. But I want to make sure they have fun and
Right.
like understand work goes into being great and understand
Mm-hmm.
that they can be great. That's three things I really care about. Like put in the work, have fun, and know that you individually can be great. And this is what it takes to be great. So
Right. That's good.
hopefully I'm doing the right thing. I don't know. We'll see in a
Yeah.
couple years.
It sounds like it. That's good. That's good. Dang, so how
Yeah.
long have
So
you been coaching?
on and off, man. Like I'm not like a professional coach or nothing like that.
Yeah.
I train,
Okay.
so that's my baby right there.
Okay.
I love training, but
Right.
coaching is like on and off thing. Just do it when I can, just to stay around the game. But
Okay.
um,
Thanks.
I just started coaching this team a couple months ago, so it's nothing like crazy.
Yeah. That's what's up. So you enjoy coaching? Or I mean, I know obviously you enjoy training a lot, but coaching I'm sure is a new task for you. Um,
Yeah, I've trained before. I mean, I've coached before. It's just different. Like I've always tried to explain the difference between training and coaching. It's very similar. Like they're related. Like it's like brother and sister related, but it's still different.
okay.
Um,
What would be
so
a major difference for you?
so I try to break it down like this. So if you have a pyramid, right? So the
Okay.
point is up top and the base at the bottom. A coach looks at it from the bottom to the top,
Hmm.
where you're looking at the entire team and seeing how you can fill in stuff.
Right.
And you slowly got to start to go to the top and you detail how the players fit in. But the trainer's looking at it from the top to the bottom, where I'm looking at the individual piece and see how it fits into the team and how the
Hmm.
pyramid goes. So that's the biggest difference. Like as a
Okay.
trainer, I'm looking at my player. So if I'm training you, I'm seeing how do you fit in on your team versus
Okay.
the coach looking at this is the team that I want to have. How I get the players to fit into this.
Hmm.
So that's how I kind of see it, and that's the difference. But
Okay.
um, my trainer brain kicks in a lot of times like, bro, if you could just work on your left hand, you could go left, and it's just like,
Hmm.
so better. So that's the difference. It's nothing too crazy, but that's the biggest difference I see.
Okay. That's what's up. That's not bad.
Hey, hold on. Time out real quick. We're gonna get back to the episode. I know you're enjoying it. I know you're enjoying the show. But I need you to help me real quick and to make sure that this episode can grow, make sure this podcast, the show can grow overall, and you can keep getting great guests like this. Make sure that you subscribe and follow along. So if you watch right now on YouTube, help me out by hitting the subscribe button. Go ahead and do it real quick. If you're listening in your car, chill out for a second. If you're on Apple or on Spotify, just like when you get a moment, hit the follow button, but not right now while you're driving. If you're working out or something, or you chilling in your room, then go ahead and subscribe with me. Like, help me help you, okay? But thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. I'm gonna stop interrupting so you get back to the episode. Thank you.
Where do you live? I'm sorry. What state are you in?
I'm in Alabama,
Oh, okay. What part of Alabama?
Birmingham.
Oh, cool. Okay. That's what's up.
So I'm not too far from your alumni state.
You're not. You're not at all. The best place ever.
I have a friend that went to state,
Hmm.
and she will let me know she went to state.
Hmm.
And the let's just say the illustrious something something. What's that whole little phrase?
Oh.
Oh, you don't know. Okay, that makes me feel better because she has this huge HBCU and state pride she carries around. So any opportunity she gets to talk about state or talk about HBCU, she's gonna let me know about it. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, that's cool, but I don't care enough to
Yeah.
like.
Don't be disrespectful though, okay?
Oh, okay. Um, I take little shots at her. I mess
Yeah.
around for sure.
It's okay.
Like
You
I'll bring up A&M.
join the list. You won't be the first. You can hop on that list with the others.
I mean, I don't hate. I just like to make fun of people a little bit. So that's all.
Okay. Cool.
But I won't be disrespectful at all. I will maintain a level of respect.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. Because I don't want no state people coming at my neck. I have too many HBCU connections and on both sides to try to mess up that. So don't
Okay.
worry, I'm not gonna get crazy.
That's what's up.
What made you choose state though? Like when you were picking college, I know you had different offers. You had to, with your
I
illustrious high
did.
school career.
I know I did, but I like the culture. I like Alabama State. And you go on different visits, and you can kind of, for me, I kind of like try to visualize myself fitting in. Seeing where I fit in, what my role or whatever. So Alabama State was just different. Like I bought into that program when I went there.
Hmm.
Like I said, I do like the culture. Um, and it was just like very welcoming. Of course, everybody's gonna be welcoming because it's a visit. But I felt it felt really, really genuine there. You know what I'm saying? And those coaches were very persistent and consistent with um, keeping in touch and coming to games and stuff like that. I'm sure most coaches do, but I don't know. It was just different. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole atmosphere, the whole environment. I could really see
Hmm.
myself going there, and I could see myself fitting right in. And buying into that program. You know, so that's why I chose it. I honestly never even thought that I would be going to HBCU, but I was like, no, I'm coming here. Yeah,
So how many offers did you have? Do you have a lot of them, or is it
I
just
did.
like what was the offers looking
I
like?
had a lot. I had different. I had SEC. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
had NAIA. But I'm just like, I want to do something different. I'm going to go to HBCU. My brothers went to HBCU in Florida, so they would have all these different stories, these different experiences. I'm like, oh, okay, kind of lean me
Mm-hmm.
more toward an HBCU, and then just the culture, like I said, the history that you get from being at a HBCU. Um, so yeah, and I honestly, till this day, I made the best decision that I've ever made.
Mm.
So glad I chose Alabama State.
That's tough. So you chose state over SEC school.
It's not about that title means nothing to me. I with girls that have that I've watched play and go to college before me, and I'm not, and it's not that I didn't think that I was great or anything, or that I couldn't go to these schools and be great, but I just know you kind of know how it works on that level. And I just refuse to
Mm.
go somewhere and only play 2 years or a year and a half or play on and off. I'm not doing that. I
Mm.
know that I could be a great, player and of great use. And of course I work hard, to prove that, but those high titles mean nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
mm-mm, I wasn't going. Nah.
Yeah, the dude's totally different because all we it's so different on our mindset because if
Mm-hmm.
it's not Kentucky or Duke, we don't.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Like, but it's funny because we're not even D3 level. Like
Mm-hmm.
you at best you're a walk on
And I feel like a lot of
at a
people miss
D2.
out on a lot of opportunities for trying to. I'm not saying don't strive for those, places,
Yeah.
but when you get there, you have to be a top performer. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Um, to be able to, get that playing time and stuff like that. But I feel like people miss out on a lot of opportunities because you can go to another D1, a different conference, and still have a great, successful basketball career.
Hmm.
A lot of people go to these top schools and never win, never win a championship, never even go to, playoffs or barely make it. You know what I'm saying? So now you
Hmm.
spent 4 years not winning. I don't know what that's
Yeah.
like. I can't relate. I'm sorry. And I'm not saying like, I chose the school because they're in lower conference. Like, no, like the SWAC is so competitive. And even now, like today, I'm looking at the SWAC and how much it's grown even more. It is some talented, great players in the SWAC, man. Like
Hmm.
it's crazy. Like I've just been keeping up with it. I'm just like the SWAC is taking off. Like seriously. If you, I don't know if you paid attention to any of the preseason games, but a couple of teams in the SWAC upset a lot of of
Hmm.
these big schools. So times are changing. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
some people I feel like they miss out trying to get on these. They go to these top schools. Like I've known several players that have played or have went to these high school. I mean these big schools and barely touched the court. Like
Hmm.
I just didn't want to do that. I didn't want that to be me. You know what I'm saying? So
I think the biggest issue is like the education around it. So it's
yes.
the people around us saying, "Oh, you have to go here," rather than realizing like, bro, D2 is just as good, or like a
Mm-hmm.
lower level D1 is just as good. And if you play your game right, you can work your way into situations where you do a year or two and then you transfer over to these bigger schools. So
Right.
I can't completely blame the guys' egos because I was like that as a kid and I was terrible. Like I didn't know how
Mm-hmm.
bad I was, but you get humbled and you get realized, oh, you actually ain't that good, or you get the right education around you to say, hey, bro, if you play your games right, play your cards right, you can go to a JUCO, you can go NIA, you can go D3 or whatever, move up the ladder, and then go D2, lower level D1. If you do your thing there, you might be able to get to a bigger D1. You
Right.
might not, but there's still more opportunities besides the same 5 schools everybody's going after. So I think the education around it is the biggest piece because we
Yeah.
don't know what we don't know, and we
Right.
getting bullied into thinking if you don't have this title or name behind your career, you kind of like didn't do anything right. So
Right.
that's probably the biggest piece that I think about.
Yeah, that's very true. It's definitely true. But I think people should stop focusing on that, trying to get to this big stage. You know what I'm saying? But it's like for the most part, these schools know exactly who they want. They know
Yeah,
they know who they want. They've been watching certain players for a long time, so it's just like just makes it harder for some people. So
mm. So when you got to state, was it everything you kind of thought and dreamed of, or was it awakening? What was the difference? Because you're from Detroit, you came down here to the South, so
but I mean, I'm
what
from
was that like?
Detroit, but I've been living in Atlanta for a while, so I kind of, was able to get adjusted to the South a bit. But of course, Alabama's different.
Hmm.
When I got to Alabama State, honestly, I was excited. I was ready for that new chapter of my life. I was ready for, to experience everything, that was for me or whatever. Um, I was scared, of course, Um, but I was excited though. That was an exciting time. Like I said, I let them say for me, it was very welcome. You know what I'm saying? When you
Hmm.
play a sport, I feel like it's a little bit easier for you because you have that circle. You know what I'm saying? You have your teammates, so you have this support. You meet these people. You're spending all this time with these people, so you gotta get close to these people quick. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So that made it a lot easier because you always have somebody, you know. And
Yeah.
my freshman year, we were stacked. So Alabama State, when I got there, had recruited 5 freshmen, 3 JUCO players, along with the players that were already there. So we got like a team of 22. It's 22 people on the roster. You know what I'm saying? So I have 21 other girls to help me through this journey, and I cling to one specifically. Like she was a new JUCO and I was new, and we just kind of clicked instantly because we were kind of like the same, like we were just quiet to ourselves, and we just linked up, and we just started doing everything together. Going everywhere together, going to the calf together, everything. So it made the process and the transition a bit easier playing a sport. I can't imagine you know, I don't want to just say like regular students, but the regular students who aren't, athletes or whatever, how it is or how that transition is when you first start school. But I mean, I don't know. Because when we went to orientation, people were like, a lot of people knew each other. I'm just like, what the freak? Like, how y'all know each other? But honestly, I was scared, but I easily adjusted and I adjusted quick. So,
Mhm.
yeah, it wasn't a terrible process, but it was good. It was good.
Mm. Um, Civilian life, non-athlete student, it ain't that bad. It's a little different.
Yeah,
But
I wouldn't think it is. Now, I talk about it a lot. I don't think it is.
nah, we just don't get the little perks and benefits y'all get, so it's all. But um, okay, you said you weren't gonna be difficult, so we'll see right here. Okay, are you gonna tell the people how great you were at state, or do we kind of have to like pull it out of you?
Yeah, you have to go Google it. I'm not. I can't. Like, I just talked basically like we won. Yeah, okay. 2 times SWAC MVP, tournament MVP. I won Player of the Year my senior year. I was second all-time leading scorer at Alabama State. Um, there's a lot more, but that's the basics. That's it. That's all you
Mm.
guys get. I'm sorry.
You just did so much. You just like, the list is too
I,
long. I don't
it's
want
just different because a lot of times, and I'm not saying this is for everybody, but
to.
not a lot of athletes stay at schools anymore for the entire 4 years. So I did 4 years, and there's 4 years of you know greatness. So I mean, that's just what it is. But
Mhm.
I've had a lovely. Alabama State was great to me. I had a lovely career there. So yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, I can Google the rest.
I tried to get it from her, guys. She did pretty decent at first, but it's okay. I tried. I tried. Okay, what year would you say was your favorite year, and was your favorite year your best year too?
um, no, because I feel like
Mm.
my favorite year was probably when we won the first time we won, which I believe was my sophomore year, because we won my sophomore year, my junior year. Then we lost my senior, which is weird because my senior year, I feel like I was balling out, like I was going crazy. I had a few 30-point games, and I was unstoppable. I mean, I was unstoppable my junior, sophomore year, I feel like. But I was really unstoppable with my senior year. Like, I seen boxing ones and a triangle, and like they just trying all this different type of stuff to stop me, and it did not stop me. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? But my favorite probably was when we won my sophomore year. Um, it was a really great year. I still had a really great season. But the squad that we had was one of my favorites. There was a lot of growth within that team. There was a lot of leadership on that team. So I think that was my favorite year. We had a really good time. We got closer as a team, and we kind of just like
Mhm.
locked in as a team um, that year. And I had a really good time at state that year. But
So senior year was your best year?
my senior, it wasn't like basketball wise, it was my best year. I feel like I had a really great, like I was in my prime, like from the preseason conditioning to the season. Like we didn't do super well, and we first round of tournament we got kicked out. But
Mm.
playing wise, I think that was one of my best years. I was on another level, like I was in another zone. But I mean, like I still enjoyed it, outside of basketball, but it was one of my best years of basketball, but it was also a hard year because I'm just like, how do we come back from back to back champions, and then now we're like struggling to win
Mm,
games. Like it was bad, so it affected me a lot.
mm,
But I think it was kind of like it's not to put like my coaches out there or anything. Like I love my coaches and still to this day I talk to them, but I don't think that we did the best job recruiting. We didn't recruit anybody. Like the players that we recruited were not able to play because of, I don't know, maybe I think one was like a transfer, one was injured, something like that. So we really didn't recruit anybody.
mm,
So I think that kind of, well, I know that definitely played a huge role. I feel like that year with what we had leave, we should have went and got some JUCO players, to help me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was leading scorer, in league and on our team, of course. But I, and it's not to put anybody out there like my teammates. Like I love them, they did what they could. But there was so much going on my senior year, so much drama. I think we could have used some extra vet players, like some JUCO players, and I think that we would have done fine. We would have done better.
mm.
Yeah.
So, what was the mental shift from junior year to senior year? Like, was there something that you had to like, okay, this is going to be different this year, and you have to adjust for it, or was it just going into it with the same mindset?
Now you can never go into it with the same mindset, especially when you have like one of the people that I played with that left, um, going into my senior year. She was gone, which was some big shoes to fill because she was a great player and she definitely contributed,
Mm,
a lot to a lot of what we were doing. So I had to, make the adjustment. Like we didn't have that. I couldn't depend on her. She's not going to be there to help me, and she was a captain with me. So I'm like, okay,
mm,
lost, lost my captain buddy too. So I had to. It was a complete mental shift. It's like now you're really like the main captain because you've been here for 4 years now. You know the program. You know the ins and outs. You know what needs to be done. Knowing all of that, I could not just focus on me and making sure that I show up. I had to make sure that, like my teammates, like they were in position, they were ready to play. You know what I'm saying? I had to make sure I was on them, holding them accountable while holding myself accountable. You know what I'm saying? So it
mm,
was a lot to adjust to. And, you have to shift your mindset, to kind of like prepare yourself for that. Um, which, like I said, that year was crazy, man. I can't even really say everything that happened that year, but it was crazy. It was a lot. Like I have a friend that lives in Atlanta, which I met at Alabama State. We were basketball buddies. Like we did everything together as far as basketball. Playing the summers at Alabama State in Montgomery against guys every summer. Like we were partners and we was playing everybody in 2-on-2. But we was that was my partner. So she was the one I was calling my senior year. I was calling her, crying, like I don't know what to do, like I don't know how to fix this, like I don't know what's going on, like everything is going wrong. And she did such a great job with just encouraging me and reminding me of who I am, you know what I'm saying? And
mm.
reminding me of just everything. And she poured so much into me, and I still appreciate her to this day for that because she definitely helped me get through that year. Um, but yeah, that was a tough year, man. It was tough. It was tough.
So, how did you prepare for that, especially with you being more introverted and kind of, low key? How did you adjust to being that type of leader and everything that came with that?
Well, you can't be introverted when it comes to that, because I have my coaches in my ear, wanting me
Mhm,
to do certain things and be a certain player. So I definitely had to step outside of my comfort zone because I don't like I never like confrontation. Like I come off as aggressive and come off as if I don't mind, speaking up, but I don't. Like I I have to pull that out of me. Like I hate it. But it's a little bit easier now. I mean, it's still never really got easy, but I just do it now because I understand and know how it can affect, a program and affect you if you don't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So being a leader and being a captain, like you have to be able to speak out. You have to be able to call people out, in a respectful way. I wasn't disrespecting anybody, but everybody's not receptive, of course. But I I just had to make that adjustment. That was a hard adjustment for me, but I'm glad that it happened that way because it's definitely helped me, the rest of my career, like outside of college and stuff like that. But man, I still don't know how I did it sometimes because it was hard. So yeah, I don't know.
So, what was the biggest moment that you had that, looking back now, what was the biggest moment that you had that you see impacted you the most? That you can look back and say, man, I have grown so much because of this. Like in the moment, of course, it sucks. But looking back at it, you like, oof, I appreciate it a little bit more than I did back then.
It's a good question. You're making me think. Um, I don't know. Let's come back to that one. I'm gonna think about that. I'm gonna think about that as we go on. That was making me think. I had to think because there's a few, but I want to make sure I choose the best one. Let me think about that one. I'm gonna come back to that one.
Okay. Give me what's the moment that you knew that was made you the most uncomfortable? That you knew you had to like really develop your leadership for?
When they made me a captain. When they made me a captain. Because if anybody who knows my coach, Coach Jackson at Alabama State, if you are a captain, you're going to have to be a captain. You're going to have to lead by example. You're going to have to speak up and speak out. There's no being shy and no passive captain. Like, you're going to have to be a little aggressive. You're going to have to call people out. And you're going to have to hold people accountable or they're going to deal with you. Like,
Mm.
that's the last thing you want. The last thing you want is to be in that office with all four coaches down your neck. No, I've been there,
Mm.
and it's not it. So I think that for me, that was it. Like when you're captain of high school, that's cool. But we talking about college with all these different personalities, with all these girls,
Mhm.
ego, pride, attitudes, and whew, yeah, most definitely being a captain.
So, okay, give me post captain. So once you became captain, what's that moment that really pushed you and made you uncomfortable?
Me, okay. I played for a tough college. I played for a tough coach in high school, but this Coach Jackson, she is off the chain. Like I love her to death though, because off the court she's amazing, but on that court,
Mm.
she means business. So it would be like her jumping down, like she would jump down our throats, and it'd be so uncomfortable because it's like you got the team right here, and she in your grill, like you need to tell it, or you gonna sit here, oh, like you know what I'm saying? It's like okay, she's giving it to me. They looking at me like, oh, I wish you would say this. It's just like
Mhm.
I gotta figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So in that moment, you gotta learn. You learn that as a captain, you have to communicate with people in a way that they'll receive it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And not you have to, and then you have to know your personality. You can't say something to some person the same way that you would say it to another. Somebody might be a little bit more sensitive. Somebody might not be as receptive. So you got to kind of learn the girls. You got to kind of know them. You know what I'm saying? Know how you can talk to them and know, because there's some situations where I can yell at this girl, but this girl I might have to go to her and kind of like be a little bit more soft but stern and aggressive to where she still gets to understand it and not be as offended. You know what I'm saying? To where she still receive it. So that I think that was one of the hardest tasks for me because you don't have a long time to figure those things out. Like you got to learn that quick. So that was a challenge, but I definitely can say that I made the adjustment and I accepted all challenges at that point. Um, so that was good. It was good for me though, because not only was it developing those around me, it developed me, as a person, as a player. So it was tough, but we got through it.
How has that challenge helped you in your pro career?
um, I don't hold back. I don't hold back. I say what I need to say, and not like that, not like cocky or anything like that. But I don't hold back. And a lot of the girls that I play with in my pro career, they're younger than me, so I'm able to have more patience. I'm a lot more calm. And I know how to talk and I know how to get people to be receptive. And a lot of these girls look up to me. So it's just like, I'm not going to be talking to them crazy or disrespecting me, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to talk to them in a way that they understand, to help push them, help make them better. You know what I'm saying? So in my pro career, it honestly still amazes me that, like I have these girls coming to me, like it could be younger girls on, because when you're overseas, they have like younger teams or like 16 and under, 14 and under, you know what I'm saying? These girls come to you and they draw to you, they see you and they're like, you're a great leader, you know what I'm saying? Like you just carry yourself, in a great way or whatever. So I think that has helped me a lot. It's developed me and made me a completely different player, now. And I wouldn't want it to be any different. You know what I'm saying? Because you should not be the same. There should be some growth, So that all of that prepared me for now and helped me to be the person and the player that I am now. So
Are you proud of that? The fact that you've grown so much as an introvert, and you
extremely
kind of see
proud.
yourself
I'm
that way.
extremely proud.
Mm.
I've always been this type of person though, like I said, my close friends, I've always been about growth, self-reflection, you know what I'm saying? Being a better person, friend, player, daughter, sister, aunt, whatever. Um, I'm always looking for ways to grow. I never want to be stuck or feel like I'm in the same place, you know what I'm saying? Because there's always room for growth.
Mhm.
So I'm so happy because sometimes when I look back, I'm just like, yeah, I'm glad I'm grown up. I'm glad that growth has taken place.
So from hearing you talk about it, I'm still struggling to really understand how you walked away, and then for so long. Like you
uh,
do like the game, you're enjoying it, you're good at it. Like obviously, as far as a player and leadership and everything.
yeah.
So to walk away and for so long, what happened with that?
I really can't. It's hard for, I guess, to help people understand that. But I mean, you go through things in life. You know what I'm saying? Like life, and when it hits you. And I feel like that was one of the times where it really hit me. And I'm also, I'm a spiritual person as well. So I was not in alignment with anything. My spiritual was out of alignment. My mental was out of alignment. So I just felt like I couldn't, it affected my mental so bad I couldn't focus on it. Like I just felt like I could do nothing right. You know what I'm saying? I just did not have, like I said, I didn't have that passion. I didn't have that fire to play as hard or be, you know what I'm saying? Like I did not really care, and I did not want to be on anybody's team with that type of attitude or with that type of mental, because I can't help you win. I can't give you the best version of
Mhm.
myself. I can't be there for, teammates who might be in need. You know what I'm saying? So I had to pull away because I feel like that's selfish of me, to be there and not really being able to give them my best self. You know what I'm saying? So in order for me to get better, I felt like I needed to take that step back. It was just so much going on, and for me, like when my spiritual is off, everything is gonna be off. So I had to go get back, right with God. Like I had to go before God, get in my word, pray fast, really seek God and pray about a lot,
Mhm.
So that was more important to me. And, my mental health was more important than to continue playing and just be going through the motion for the most part. So I needed that break because it definitely helped me to realize, how much of a blessing it is to still be able to play and not just be playing locally, but to go be able to go back overseas. Most people, you sit out a year and it's hard to go overseas. And I sat out for 2.5
Yeah.
and God still blessed me. So I knew, you know what I'm saying? When that coach didn't start reaching out to me, when I got that opportunity, I knew that was God. I knew that was God telling me that I'm not done with this, or, he has more in store for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad I took that break. I needed that. I needed it.
So things in life and around life were happening, and it got to a point where it was impacting your career and your game.
Hmm.
So you said, okay, if I can't be Britney at this level, I'm not going to disrespect the game and myself and the team. I'm going to take a step back to get everything else in line to where I can, if I come back, I'll be impactful how I should be.
Right.
Without going too deep, because I respect, your privacy,
Hmm.
can you explain an event or something that did happen to where you like, oh, I'm not 100% right now?
Um, I know I was telling you when we went out of town, the game we went to out of town, um, and we was playing and we was losing. My attitude was so terrible. Just like that, just that minor. I don't want to call it a minor thing, but just that minor thing for me was enough. I was like, this isn't me. My responses, the way that I was responding, like I said, my attitude, my mindset is just like I just did not care, and it showed on the court. And I felt like that was really selfish to my teammates who were playing hard and wanted to win. And I'm just going through the motion. I did not care. You said something to me, I probably said something really disrespectful back, and that's not me because I don't
Mm-hmm.
communicate like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't talk crazy to anybody on the court. And I'm getting into it with people on the court. I'm like, all right, this is not me. Like, I just felt myself producing behaviors that weren't me. Like, I was doing things that was not me. And I'm just like, this is me. Every little thing was irritating. I'm just snapping. Like, I had no patience, no tolerance for anything. And I'm just like, this is not me. And I just
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to be like that. I didn't want to do that. So I knew something. I knew that it was time, and something had to change, or it was going to be worse. And that's not me. I can't be out here talking reckless like that. uh
So what was that rebuild and that reconnection like? What were some of the steps you took to say, okay, I'm stepping away from the game. I need to do this to get my mental right, this to get my spirit right. What were some of the things you started doing then?
So of course, as far as spiritually, I was more consistent with my walk with God and my relationship with God. Seeking Him more each day, allowing Him to lead me and guide me. you know. And I started there because I feel like once I start there, everything else will fall into place. He will kind of reveal some things. He will heal some things and kind of restore, some things for me. And like I said, I took my big hiatus. I took my break. I took it away from people. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, my mom, she's a minister, so I talked to her a lot, prayed with her a lot, and we talked about some things, and we kind of talked about basketball, and she just kind of poured into me and reminded me of my gift and all that stuff. Um, but I did take that break. Like I said, I played locally a little bit at LA Fitness. I would just go in, get a couple runs in, kind of leave, kind of try to get a feel back. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But I spent a lot of time self reflecting on everything, just everything, like I said. But the main thing spiritually, I got back right with God and got consistent with it. And that helped me with everything. To be
Mhm.
honest, like, I went to God, told him what I wanted to do. And I started journaling too. That helped a lot. Um, but yeah, I just spent a lot of time to myself. The time that I needed to take, I spent a lot of time, like I said, self reflecting and just healing, allowing myself to
Mhm.
feel what I felt and allowing myself to go through those different emotions, but then healing from it and moving forward from it. So,
What does journaling do for you? because I've heard, we should journal, and it's kind of like a cliche thing at this point for me to hear like you should journal,
Yeah,
and I'm not knocking it,
yeah.
but because it feels cliche, it's just like, all right, whatever. But what are some of the benefits you've had from journaling?
So for me, it allows me to express myself. The things that I'm not able to express to people, I can express that through journaling.
Hmm.
And it's not just even about like writing down my emotions or writing down my feelings. Like it's a conversation sometimes between me and God. It's I write my goals down. You know what I'm saying? Like I just write down some of the things that I want to accomplish, some of the things that I want to do. I just write down different things, and for me, that just kind of helps me to channel my emotions a bit more. You know what I'm saying? By just writing it down, because I've never like I've always been the person I've sometimes I can't go to people and talk. Like even with my mom, sometimes some stuff I just don't want to talk about with people. So writing it down helps me because I still get to get it out. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I don't know. It's just a sense of relief for me. So
Mm. Has it helped you in your game at all? Or is it mainly like personal life?
it's both. Because I'm still at where I am now. Like I write down my goals for what I'm trying to
Hmm.
accomplish as far as like my pro career and what I like to do. So I use it for everything.
Mm.
So, yeah.
So, kind of healing and mending and everything was the biggest change you had journaling, or was it something else that you kind of did too?
That was just a part of it. You know,
Mm.
it was just a part of it. I did a lot. I did a lot. I did a lot. So that was just, like I said, it was just a part of it. Because healing isn't pretty. Like it's not always pretty. It's a journey too.
Mm.
Within itself. So, and it's different for everybody. So you do what works for you.
Mm. So, when you finally kind of like, did the healing point happen first, or was it kind of the introduction to the game happen? How did you start to get back into hooping again?
The healing happened first. My mental needed to be, I needed that peace. So that happened first, and then it was like slowly I started to come back around with basketball. So I would go and watch games, even though I wasn't playing in like the summer leagues, because the summer leagues in Atlanta they're really good here. So I would just go
Mm.
and be around to keep myself in the atmosphere of it, keep myself in the environment of it, and honestly, just being there, it just kind of like you got everybody asking, "Why aren't you playing? Why aren't you playing?" 'Cause, I'm just chilling this summer. I'm just taking a break. But
Mhm.
it just slowly came back around, and then I started hooping me and my friend because like she lived here, but we weren't in the same area, and then I moved a little bit closer on to the side of town that she lives on. We started playing again together, playing 2-on-2s, playing going to play fives with the dudes. And I slowly regained that passion, that fire. I'm like, dang, I miss this. Like, which I knew I would miss it. You know,
Mhm.
I missed it. And I just kept getting in the gym, kept getting in it, and I slowly came back around. So it was cool, but it wasn't really like it was really never the basketball part. It was the mental. Like I feel like when your mental is just out of line, it affects a lot of different areas of your life. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't really focus and
Mhm.
give it the attention that you want to. So the fact that I was
Yeah.
healing, you know what I'm saying? I was on a better journey. I was in a better place. I was able to give this the attention that I knew I could give to it. So yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I kind of struggle with that too because I will ignore a lot of stuff because I'm like, this has to get done.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like we talking about earlier, like the need to like be so great and perform at this level. I will ignore all these things because I have to like do these things. Like I'll ignore the gas light on my car. I'll ignore the check engine light.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, bro, I have to get to this place though, so I need to get here.
Yes.
So I'll ignore these lights. running low on gas, running low on oil. I need to get tires rotated, brakes changed, all these things. I'm like, bro, I have to get here. And after a while, that car starts breaking down bit by bit. And
Mm-hmm.
then piece by piece, people like, man, is that your car over there? Man, you missing a tire? Like, nah, bro, I'm good. Like, don't worry about it, man. Like, like, bro, you missing a whole tire, bro. You're not good. Like, bro, shut up. I'm good. Don't worry
Right.
about it. All right. Okay. Another time out. Okay. Look, if you got to this point, you have to be enjoying the episode. Like, you have to. At this point in the episode, you're enjoying it. So help me help you. Just if you're on Apple right now and you're on your phone, okay, just take your phone, press the subscribe button. It's right there. Just do that with me. Even if on your laptop, take your mouse, boom, click over, boom, do your thing. Now you subscribe. Now you linked in because you don't want to miss the next great episode that I have. But doing stuff like this helps the episode grow, makes the show grow, and the podcast grow so I can keep getting great guests and keep doing great interviews. So if you listen on Apple or Spotify, take a second, look at your phone, press the follow button, okay? And share with a friend or two because you'll find the value in this. You want to have this conversation with your friends so they can have the same value. Now the whole basketball community can grow. All right. Thanks for listening so far. I'm gonna get out your way. Let's get back to the episode. Appreciate you. But yeah, it's just you get to a point where you have to slow down and say, "Hey, let me start actually checking these lights and checking all these things out
Mm-hmm.
because it's important to get to this point, but you have to make sure you're okay along the way." So it's kind of me just slowly realizing that I'm pretty stubborn too. So I'll like keep bumping my head against the wall a couple times before
Yeah.
I'm like, let me actually like check this door out, see if it works too. Let me like go around sometimes. So
Yep.
I got to be like you and start taking care of myself.
Yeah. I just got better at that. So you kind
Mm,
of you're in this place where you think you got it under control, and that was my problem. I felt
mm,
like I had most of it under control, and I'm like, okay, I can get myself out of this, or I'm gonna be okay. I'll just have to do this, but nah, you gotta pay attention. You can't ignore the lights, like you said.
yeah. I think the hardest part is really, I want to say being humble, but it is being humble, like giving it to God.
Mm,
Because when your hands are on it, trying to work on it and figure it out, that's kind of like you saying, I don't trust that you can handle this,
right,
so I got it.
right.
And that's been like the hard part of figuring out and balancing like how much do I do or how much do I give to him to let him work and do what he has to do. So that's the piece I'm still really figuring out. Like
Yeah,
I trust you, man, but I gotta do something here. So
and that's the thing, man. We
that's a
say
tough
we
one.
trust him, but then we're still like worrying and all this good stuff. But we gotta truly, fully trust him. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows what's best for us, man. He know the plans that he has for us. So we just gotta let him lead us. And that's where I am. I'm just
Mhm.
allowing him to lead me in every area of my life. I'm like just really giving it to him and trusting him, and it makes things a lot easier when I do so. So
Mm. But it seems like you're in a good space now.
I am. I'm in a great space.
Mm. I'm glad to hear it, man. I'm happy for you.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad you're back hooping and thriving,
Thank you.
getting some money to go hoop,
Thank you, man.
doing good mentally, spiritually. Uh, you still setting records and getting awards and stuff, or you just kind of chilling out on that part?
I'm chilling out.
You saying that now, then talk to you in a year. Yeah, I broke this record. I had this many points, and I set this record for a
Oh
season.
my
Like,
gosh, I'm
so
chilling. I'm enjoying basketball.
I'm pretty. You were enjoying basketball back then too, when you was getting all
I
the awards and
was.
stuff.
I
So,
was. But I'm yeah, you're right. Never mind.
so what you got planned though, man? Like, how long is the career happening? Do you got any plans after that?
Um, I don't have a timeline as far as my career. I'm gonna play as long as my body allows me to, and as long as God allows me to. So as of now, like I feel like there's still a lot of basketball left in me. I'm 29, but I still feel like I
Mm,
can go. You know what I'm saying? And I know afterwards I'm gonna finish nursing school or whatever. But right now I'm just kind of like racking up certificates. So when I go over there, I'm gonna do another like online program certificate. for something else. Like I try to stay in the medical field, but I try to keep getting certificates. So when I come home, I can work in those fields and kind of stay in the environment and stay around and keep learning.
Mhm.
So I just keep trying to make sure I kind of further my education as well as while I'm playing basketball. So yeah.
I respect it. I respect it. So
Thanks, man.
I think that's it. I don't have anything else I want to ask you.
Okay.
Anything else you want to leave the people with before we get out of here?
No, I'm okay. I just appreciate you for this interview.
I'm really glad you came on because you introverted and stuff too, so you could have said no. So I appreciate it.
No, it's no worries.
So that's it, everybody. You feel me? I got done talking to Miss Brittany. She done now. She's tired of me now. It's been a whole 73 minutes, so something like that. But thank you guys for watching. If you're at this point, you're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. If you're on Spotify or Apple, hit that follow button because this podcast is great. I got great people like her coming on here. So why not get more greatness? I don't understand why you wouldn't do that. If you want to follow her journey on social media, like I'm gonna have her stuff below if she'll let me. I don't know if she
Oh
want
yeah,
more
you're
followers.
good. Go
So you
ahead.
got
I don't.
All right, cool. So I got the release, so y'all can follow her, show her some love on social. You can follow me too. You feel me? I'm on everything. It's BeBall Jones. That's BE Ball Jones. And I think that's it. I did all my stuff. If I didn't do it, go to another video, watch another interview, and see what I said at the end of that one, and then do that stuff too, because I probably forgot something. But if I didn't, good job, B. But if I did, you just watch another great interview. So that's good for everybody. But that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Miss Brittany, again for coming on.
You're welcome.
And
Thank you.
see you guys next time.
Bye.